Can everyone hear me? Or should I speak up a bit more? Speak up a bit more? Okay. Thank you very much for letting me come and speak to you today. Those of you who are familiar with the NHS have probably seen a lot of change over the years, and some of you might wonder, do they know what they're doing? And I can say yes, there is a plan, and I think that the plan for people in the community is a very good one. What's happening? The NHS has decided to concentrate on doing two things separately. One is commissioning services, and the other is actually delivering services. So what's happening is PCTs in West Sussex, NHS West Sussex and East Sussex, are separating out their provider community services, and they're merging with Southlanders. So NHS West Sussex, the PCT, is going to concentrate on understanding the local population's healthcare requirements and commissioning the services that are appropriate for West Sussex. I've met with commissioners and people there. They know what you eat, they know what you drink, they know who smokes the most, and they know which street you live on. They know how many hip replacements they need in an average year. They know how many broken ankles, they know how much pneumonia, they'll have a very good idea of how many, say, ovarian and breast cancers they're going to have this year. They have a very rich understanding of the needs of the population on a very localised basis. Yeah? So they've got West Sussex as a whole, but if you get someone, say, who commissions smoking services, they can tell you which streets in Sussex where people smoke the most. NHS Brighton and Hove is exactly the same thing, and also the East Sussex PCTs. They have two PCTs in East Sussex, and they're busy combining into one. So what we're going to have are three big commissioners of service: NHS West Sussex, NHS Brighton and Hove, and NHS East Sussex. Now what's happening in the community services, which is Southlanders, which is where I'm from, Southlanders has been a standalone community services provider and only community services provider in Brighton and Hove for 17 years. So community services is all we do. We have some intermediate care bedded units, but in the main we provide district nursing, community nursing, and a whole lot of services outside of hospital that previously you might have had to see your GP or go into hospital for. So we have a phlebotomy team, we do IV treatments that used to be in hospital, we do in people's homes, we do HIV, we do COPD for people with respiratory problems, we do palliative care, a whole range of specialist services. So what's happening is that the community services in West Sussex are integrating with community services in Brighton and Hove. So together we're going to have about 60 different services to offer you, but where you receive those services won't change. So if you have a district nurse coming to see you or a friend or a loved one, if that district nurse comes every day, every week, that will continue. If you receive care from a specialist team, you might find that service will be delivered in the same place. So it might be in your home, you might go to a local pharmacy, you might go to a local residential unit, but what you might find is that we offer you a richer service. If you look at heart failure, Southlanders has a heart failure team, and West Sussex has a heart failure team, but we have different specialisms within the team. So by bringing those nurses and doctors together, we're able to offer patients a much better service because there's a wider skill base to call on. Yeah? So, yeah.
Can I just ask, because you mentioned about buying the services.
Yep.
I'm looking at services for older people.
Yep.
You've mentioned services that are specific to the NHS, like district nurses.
Yep.
And all of that type of services. Are we be buying any other services, so from the voluntary sector or from the private sector?
How it's happening is the PCTs, you're right, this is the point, is that the PCTs should now be commissioning services from a range of providers, not just the NHS, to get the best service. So for example, Age Concern offers a wide range of services. And I think looking at feet, I've had both my hips done, so I do know that having your toenails clipped is a huge issue. And if you're not pregnant or diabetic, the NHS told me, on your bike. I said, thank you very much. So I know that, for example, it might be more cost effective for the PCTs to buy things like toenail clipping services from Age Concern. But Southlanders offers very special podiatry. So if you're diabetic and you need to see a podiatrist it should mean that the PCTs commission from a range of providers to open up the market.
Where shortfalls might be, I'm thinking about what you said about nail cutting.
Yep.
It sounds like there's a long waiting list of people to have treatment on their feet if you're an older person.
Yeah.
So are there any other areas that they've identified where there's long waiting lists where they're thinking actually you need to get these other services outside the NHS?
You would need to contact specific commissioners at PCTs. So if you're in West Sussex and you're interested in a particular service, the best thing to do would be to ring NHS West Sussex. They're based in Goring by Sea, and try to speak with the commissioner of the services you're interested in, if there is an issue. Yeah. If it's community services.
I think in community, people who are living.
Yep. Anne has my contact details. If there's a problem, you can contact me and I'll forward it to the appropriate people at the PCT. But in theory, what it should be doing, by separating out commissioning and understanding healthcare needs and provision, the PCTs should be going to the best provider for those services. Obviously, while guaranteeing patient safety, continuity and consistency of care Now, Southlanders also has a management contract to run the community services for East Sussex also. So once Southlanders and West Sussex Health have integrated, East Sussex community services will be rolled in. So will be pan-Sussex community provision in the same way that Sussex Partnership Trust does mental health provision for the whole county. We'll do community services for the whole county. But again, your first port of call is always your GP.